Hi guys, welcome to another video. I'm Paul Michaels from Palmiko Dog Training and the Palmiko Dog Guide. In this video, I want to talk about and show and demonstrate what I think is one of the, if not the most important things in dog training. So in all of my training systems, the Deer Dog Training Blueprint, the Palmiko Dog Guide, I've always spoken about my principles, and we go over all of them in detail in my series, but one of my main principles is pressure and praise. Putting pressure on what we don't want, praise on what we do want. So I've got my two dogs here. I've got Miko and Print. These two are both fully trained dogs. Print's about 4 years old, Miko's about 2. Miko's the dog that we trained in the Palmiko Dog Guide. Print's the dog that we trained in the Deer Dog Training Blueprint. I'm going to use these two here basically as a prop. Obviously, they're fully trained dogs with a bit of age on them, so they're not going to be doing heaps of crazy stuff. I'm not going to be able to show you loads, but we've done videos like this before where I've just come out into an open space like this with well-trained dogs. Instead of just talking about this in the podcast studio, sitting at a desk talking about it, it's still really good out here. I can show you a lot. So again, the principle, pressure and praise, putting pressure on what we don't want, praise on what we do want. As I've got more and more experience over the last few years and teaching this to other people over and over and over, thousands of people now, I slowly realize and learn more and more things that I have been doing without even realizing it. And I've slowly had to learn how to pass on more and more of those finer and finer details. And I realized pressure and praise is actually so much more than just putting a bit of pressure on what I don't want and praise on what I do want. So what I mean by that is really simply, pressure and praise is, these two are on a sit here right now. They're on a stop. Stop means stop and stay stopped until told to go. So if either one of these dogs got up off the stop right now, that's what I don't want. And I'd put pressure on that straight away. And as soon as the dog relaxes again and stays there, all that pressure needs to come off straight away. It's really, really important. Reading and timing, it's another principle. You have to be able to read your dog and have excellent timing in applying and releasing pressure and praise. So it's not just pressure on what you don't want, praise on what you do want. It's actually the reading and timing of the application and releasing of pressure and praise. And there's one more element too. It's actually the reading and the timing and the measure of the application and releasing of pressure and praise. So it is a very simple idea: pressure on what you don't want, praise on what you do want. But then it gets broken down into all these finer subtleties and details. And the subtleties of the different things that I'm reading in my dogs and applying pressure to, and the subtleties of the timing and the measure, the basic principle on measure is we always want to use the minimum amount of pressure or praise required to get the job done. I don't want to go, when I could have just gone, Or sometimes it might even be, I could just be leaning back, releasing pressure, because even just that is applying pressure. Leaning in, stiffening my body language, step forward, hand out, even just that is pressure. Going from this to that, and then going from this to that is releasing pressure. So applying pressure could be, these two could be on a stop. I might be trying to take a step back, and Miko might just turn her head a little bit and lean forward, and I might just go like that, and then she'll relax her body language and lean back, and I'll release all that pressure straight away. So putting pressure on a dog by something as subtle as stepping forward is marking the fact that the dog is doing something you don't want it to do. releasing pressure. It doesn't necessarily have to go straight from pressure to praise. Good dog, good dog. It can go from a little bit of pressure to, as soon as the dog alters its body language and it's telling me, it's realized that I'm telling it it's about to do something wrong, it's acknowledging that, and now it's relaxing its body language, it's about to start doing the right thing. I can acknowledge the fact that the dog is doing the right thing and let the dog know it's doing the right thing by releasing pressure, which could be as subtle as going from this to that. And then I could step back, move, and say, good girl. And the good girl or good boy, Miko's a female, Print's a male. Good girl or good boy, that's praise on what I do want. Now, I'm going to start doing a couple of stop drills. I'm going to get these two moving around a little bit. So again, they're fully trained dogs, but having said that, I've barely done any formal training with them other than what I need to day, which is, asking them to wait in the truck while I open it when I don't want them to jump out or stop, go inside, outside, get into heel while we're walking in the park, or just now they went to run over to another dog. That's what they're both looking at behind the camera there. As far as actually coming out and doing drills, I haven't done anything, and I know I'm going to do a couple of drills right now that I'm pretty sure one of them will get wrong and I'll have to step in, put them back and correct them a little bit. So we'll just see what we can get going here and see if I can show you some of this the timing and measure of the application and releasing of pressure and praise right now. So to release these two one at a time, I just say their name and either pat my knee or even just say their name and tell them to come to me. To release both of them, I do a double peak whistle. So I'll see if I can show you what that looks like. I'll call Miko first, and Print should stay there. Miko, come. Good girl. I'll see if Miko gets up when Print runs past her. I hope she does. She's not supposed to, but I hope she does. Print. Good girl. Okay, I was almost a little bit slow there. So you see how as soon as Miko got up, and what I did is I put Print on a sit and I brought Miko back to where she should have stayed. Now I'll try it again. Yeah, Print. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So you see that? You'll be able to skip back there. I called Print. Miko did a big move like she was about to get up, and I went to step forward. I almost done a little bit of a trip over on the spot because I went to move forward and step in, up, because moving in is pressure coming on. A command like is pressure. Hand out is pressure. All three together, is pressure coming on. And she sort of did a spin around on the spot, went to get up, realized she wasn't supposed to do it and stayed there. So I sort of got stuck in this weird, but she picked up on that. As soon as she started moving, my body language is kicking in. I was applying pressure. As soon as she stopped again, I released all the pressure and stepped back again or stayed on the spot. Releasing pressure is just as important as the original application of it, and the timing of releasing it is just as important, because if I spoke about this in a Q&A the other day, if that pressure stays on after she's stopped moving and she's now doing what I wanted to do, while that pressure stays on, the dog's thinking it's still not doing the right thing. So she'll wriggle around more. And if any of your timing's off with the application and releasing of pressure and praise, if your measure is wrong, you're not heavy enough and sharp enough with the pressure, you're not putting enough pressure on a really keen, untrained dog, you'll never get there, and you'll keep putting that little amount of pressure on. You'll never get to the point where the dog starts doing the right thing and you can just step in and say, good dog, good dog, hey, good girl. So it's actually better for the relationship between you and the dog's confidence and everything to get that pressure on hard enough and fast enough so the dog knows it's doing the right thing with the timing right too. It's really important that you get the timing right, and then so the dog's like, whoa, okay, yeah, get it. And then as soon as it's doing the right thing, all that pressure comes off and we can step in good. See how as soon as I stepped in with different body language, your tail started wagging? That's how good dogs, like the difference between that and this, the dogs are just picking up on that the whole time. Yeah, print. Good boy. Print. Come here. You sit there. Miko, come here. So I haven't done any of this stuff for a long time with these two, and Miko is pretty sloppy on it, which I knew she would be, and that's why I wanted to film this video at the moment. Yeah, print. Good boy. Come here. Yeah, see, that's my fault, Miko. See, when I say print, that's a good example of how easy it is to screw something up, screw the dog up, and how important it is to get all your commands right, always be thinking about what you're doing. Right, when I say Print's name and call Print, he's fine. But as soon as I said, come here, and patted my knee, Miko's taking that as a generic recall command for her. So that's me sort of muddying the waters a little bit here. Here, Print. Here, Print. Good boy. Come here. Sit. Which is partly Print's fault because he's so distracted about a dog like miles away. So I had to call him twice. Miko. Good girl. Good girl. Come here. Sit down. Stay there. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Stay there. Yeah, Print. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. I'll just break up the patterns here. Anytime you're doing something like this, you always want to break up the patterns in training. This is another one of our principles. I don't want to call Miko and then call Print and then call Miko and then call Print. Right now, Miko's waiting for me to call her because I did Print last time. So I'll go Print again. Here, Print, come. Here, Print. Sit. Stay there. Good girl. Stay there. Remember, I don't use treats or e-collars or nothing. It's all pressure and praise. A lot of long lines, leads, and just real dog training. See there, you'll be able to click back a little bit. Miko went to jump. I put the pressure on, but then I laughed and relaxed my body language, and she took that as a cue to jump up. It's just another example of how subtle different changes in body language can be. And again, I haven't practiced this stuff in over a year with these two, so if I come out 2 or 3 days a week and practice this stuff properly for 10 or 15 minutes a day, both these dogs will be rock solid on this in a month, you know. Yeah, Print. Hurry up, come here. Good boy. Good boy. Miko. Good girl. Good girl. And you know, we do a lot of distraction stuff. We've had Print on the stop with dogs running around, barking, off leash, like all sorts of stuff going on. But that's it anyway. Miko. You can see Miko is pretty rough at this stuff at the moment. Good girl. Stay there. Good boy. But anyway, it's, you know, it's a super complex topic. In the Pal Miko Dog Guide, we break all of this. We actually filmed the entire training of Miko from start to finish in the Dare Dog Training Blueprint. That's for training a hunting dog, by the way. In the Dare Dog Training Blueprint, we filmed the entire training of Print. We've got loads on my podcast, the Paul John Michaels podcast. There's hours and hours there. And we're going to be making more and more of these free videos. But in the Pal Miko Dog Guide, we literally filmed everything we did with Miko from start to finish. It's all broken down, demonstrated. All how we train the sit, pressure and praise, all of our principles, all of that stuff's all in there. But this was just a really quick sort of high altitude overview of that idea. Cheers. See you later.